Yo, welcome. What's up? Welcome to episode. I didn't even say this to you guys. This is episode 10.
Yeah.
Our 10th episode.
We're over the hump.
Welcome to episode 10 of the Point Podcast. And something different this time. A new set. We haven't done that before.
No, never.
This is number 7, I think.
I don't know, but we have got finally a
Whatever it is, it's
proper.
Way too many.
We have finally got a proper set. The computer's already having a hissy fit. But yeah, no, we finally got a proper set. We're going to expand it from here. Don't worry, some of this foam's probably going to fall down mid-episode. It's only held up by blue tack for now. We're still making it, but we've got a proper set. We're going to expand this out, make it look a bit more pretty as time goes on. But it's from all that YouTube cash we've been getting, baby. Woo!
Oh, yeah.
And all those TikToks that have been blowing up. Ooh, we are getting sponsored. Sony, get ready for Save Point.
God, yeah.
God, yeah. It's episode 10. We didn't do anything to celebrate besides the new set, but
It took enough time.
it took enough time. It was a very big week setting this up. But something else that is happening this week, and we're going to probably dedicate the whole episode to, is the Game Award nominees just came out.
Yeah.
Yo! Woo! Give me a second.
Where's the applause? We need the applause to kick in.
That's what I'm looking for. Shut up. Game Awards. Woo! But we're going to go through the list. I haven't looked at these. Ben, you've looked at them.
I have indeed. It's going to be interesting.
Brock's looked at a little bit.
I've seen one or two mentions, not all of them.
I have seen that people are saying that they don't like this. And I've seen a couple of tiny things, but I haven't looked at it. I've gone in cold turkey, as they say in the business. So let's jump on this thing.
God, yeah. It's going to be interesting.
Do we want to go through game of the year first, or just look at all of
I
them?
think just go through it as it appears on the page. So
Your categories, okay. Whoa.
Okay.
Oh, I guess, no, let's just do from the bottom up to the top, do you reckon?
Do we need to do esports? Do we want to do esports games?
Well, let's see how quick it is to get through these lists. Can I
Oh.
jump to the next one easy? Yeah, I can do next category.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, easy. Oh, maybe not?
no, if you
No,
start
go.
at the back, you got to go to previous category.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay. No, we don't care about esports teams. These are all
No.
League of Legends.
No.
Bleh. Only good league thing is
Okay.
Arcane. Esports player. Do you know any of these? I've heard of Faker before. That is literally it.
No.
Okay, I don't care either. So
Yeah, I don't
bleh.
know any of
Let's
them.
actually look at the games for the real gamers. Best esports game.
Ooh.
So what do we got here? I'm going to talk about this because this is a legacy thing every year.
Yeah.
There's not much each year, but we've got Counter-Strike 2, which is technically Counter-Strike 4. Because there's 1.6, then there's Counter-Strike Source, then there's CSGO, and now there's Counter-Strike 2.
Yeah.
Dota 2, League of Legends, Mobile Legends Bang Bang. What the fuck is
I
that?
didn't know you could have an esports game that was mobile.
And then
Where's
Valorant.
Doodle
I don't really care about any of these. I think it's funny that there's 2 Valve games in there.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
hectic.
I've only played, I haven't played any of the ones on that list, but I've played Dota, I've played Counter-Strike, I haven't played,
I haven't played CS 2.
No, I played a little bit of the first
I
one.
played
but,
the
like,
other 3, but I
not
mean, I
enough
know
to
it's
have
just a
an
slight
opinion.
upgrade. All right, I mean, like, I'm going to say CS2 because it's the only one that's really had a big thing. That was
Yeah.
the newest. That came out this year, wasn't it?
It's the most interesting to watch as well. The Valorant has too much stuff going on.
Yeah. Yeah, I reckon. Valorant's... Yeah. All right, let's go to the next category. Something a bit epic here. Content creator of the year.
It's Queso. Hands down.
Okay, so we've got Queso. Don't know that person. Don't know that person. Don't know that person. I have heard of Usada Pekara. That's just a VTuber.
I haven't heard
Is
of
that the one
any
that
of
spent
these
like
people.
$12,000 on the VTuber model?
No idea. That's a Japanese one.
Yeah, okay. Still, that's a lot of money to spend on it.
Yeah, they do a
Yes.
lot. That was probably like Iron Mouse, isn't that the other one of the other big ones?
Maybe.
But
up to
surely
date.
that's got to be Queso. I'm surprised that there aren't I'm sorry, I don't know these 3.
No.
I don't know any of them.
But I mean,
You've probably seen a couple of Queso things, not knowing that it's him. He has blown up this year.
I've seen his face,
Yeah.
but it's usually in like, don't know who that is, and I'll just click off it straight away.
The big thing with him is they just make fun that he's fat. It's a bit of like a dead joke. He says some funny stuff.
It's entertaining.
He's entertaining.
Yeah.
I think he deserves his spotlight a lot more than other people do, but I don't think he's anything special either.
He's done a lot with Jinxie and stuff this year and Sketch. Which
That
these
probably
names
means
are going straight
nothing
over
to
your head.
Brock.
No, look, I don't want to diminish any of the work that these guys have put into making like their community, their spot, everything they've done. But I don't know who any of them are, so
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
fair.
have
That's
much
fair.
interest
I think
in this topic.
the other four probably are a bit more well-known worldwide. We just get whatever's American, and like I've only ever seen anything from Queso. I don't know any of the other stuff. Maybe Typical Game, his face looks familiar. I don't know why, though.
I mean, much like the username, probably because he just looks like the stereotypical.
Looks
That
like a
is
typical
probably a good
gamer.
point.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that should go to Queso. I haven't heard much from Usada Pekara this year, and I don't know the other ones. All right,
What's next?
next one. Most anticipated game: Death Stranding 2 on the beach, Ghost of Yotai, Grand Theft Auto 6, Metroid Prime 4, Monster Hunter Wilds. Surely that goes to GTA 6.
See, I would like to give it to Ghost purely just because there's a high chance that GTA doesn't come out next year.
Yeah.
So if it wins, and
Is
then
it saying for next year though?
Yeah, well, I'm assuming it means next year because
I-
the rest are coming out.
I don't.
No,
No.
it's just
Yeah,
illustrated
recognising-
potential
yeah.
to push the gaming medium forward.
No, well then, yeah, GTA.
GTA 6. Hey, I'm Kojima cucked. I think 6 over Death Stranding every day of the week. Are you kidding me?
Monster Hunter Wilds, I don't know what that'll add to, like maybe add more stuff to the series, but to gaming in general, probably
No.
not much. Metroid Prime 4, among those, it's the one I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah, but it's just
But
more of the
it's-
same.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's not going to add anything to, like, there's not going to be a huge revolution of like, oh my
No,
god,
no.
you don't just turn into a ball when you need
Turn
to do
into
this
a
other thing.
triangle.
Yeah, I think you're right. 6 is the one that's going to push it the most.
Oh yeah, God yeah.
That'd be worth getting a PS5 Pro for.
Yes, I reckon that would be.
Yeah, I'm still going to play it on PC.
Yeah, we did.
It
ask.
also would be if they gave proper modding tools. It would be GTA's game over on PC. If they gave,
Rockstar's never going to
well, it's not Rockstar. It's Take Two.
Sorry, yes.
It's their parent company. They're anal as hell about it.
They're not the only company that does that.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think it's because it's so successful they don't care.
Yeah, they
But
don't
I
have
would
any reason
almost
to
think
do
if
it.
they put more modding into it, people would buy it. I would buy it on PS5 and on PC
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
It's easy because it used to be a pain in the ass to mod GTA 4, and I think there was a lot of lawsuits for modding GTA 5, and it's like so hard to do.
The problem is a lot of, like, the lawsuits were because of the online capability that
Yeah.
a lot of the modding tools has, but a lot of the actual player base weren't using them for online. They were using them for single player stuff.
Single player, like go around Iron Man mod and
Yeah,
things like that.
sort of fun stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
If they do the RP whole aspect of it like they've been talking about, I reckon it'd be pretty hectic. But again, they're still not going to do anything with mods that make a difference.
All right, yeah. So GTA 6 for most anticipated game. That's easy. All right. So best adaptation: Arcane. This is like TV shows and movies. Arcane, Fallout, Knuckles. Is that just saying the newer Sonic movie?
No, they did a
Sonic
TV show.
Yeah, there was a little spin-off, like 6 episodes, I think it was.
I had no idea about that. All right.
Yeah, I've been meaning to watch it. I haven't sat down to watch it. And
No.
Heard
fake
it's good,
fan.
bit of minutes.
yeah,
Like a Dragon, Yakuza, and then Tomb Raider: The Legend of Lara Croft. Okay. I think it's between these two.
Yeah, Tomb Raider was good. I really enjoyed it.
I haven't watched
Wasn't
Yakuza.
anything different.
I really want to watch it. I've heard good things about it. Those games are fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you said you were just pretty
Yeah.
okay
it
on
was
Tomb Raider.
Good. Like I like Tomb Raider.
It wasn't bad,
so
but it wasn't good either.
I mean, it's done by can't think of who the other company is, the animation company, but like
Crystal.
no, that's the gaming company.
Crystal Dynamics.
I'm just looking at Legendary.
Yeah, I don't know. One of the studios they did the same with Castlevania and all that sort of stuff, but it was perfectly fine. But it's not like I didn't enjoy it as much as Arcane or Fallout.
Yeah. I reckon.
just a good filler show.
My feelings for Fallout.
Really? Have you watched Arcane?
No,
No, okay.
I'm not a League of Legends fan.
Neither.
so-
I
It has
hate League.
nothing to do.
Hate League. It is a really, really good show.
It's all just lore with those
Because
characters
that's the
in
thing. They always did good lore with that. Yeah.
I did play Fallout 4 for the first time after watching the show. That may have also coincided with the anniversary edition they brought out for like $6.
Yeah.
But no, I don't have any inclination to play League of Legends after watching Arcane.
No. Oh,
I just love the whole art style from Arcane.
I tend to think Arcane over Fallout. Fallout was really good, but at the same time, I think the show is amazing. They didn't need to do anything different, but what I would have liked, and I know I've talked to you about this, is the less fun side of Fallout and some of the more serious stuff as well, which I didn't really
less
touch.
of the campiness, more of the grittiness.
Because the original 2 games, and then
Very dark, aren't they?
they're a lot more dark. There's a lot of campiness, fun stuff, but there's a lot more darkness in it.
I have a feeling with the second season, we're probably going to see that more of the grittiness, because the first season is very much from Lucy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, from her point of view as a no experience of the outside world.
Yeah.
I have a feeling the second season is going to get far more into that nitty.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised.
It ended quite the last episode was quite dark.
So it's like nothing compared to what the actual
not.
show is like. Yeah, I think I would probably go Arcane on that. Is that what you're thinking as well, Ben? Yeah.
You should definitely watch it. It's very good.
Yeah, I'd recommend. The second season just came out. It was a long wait, like 3 years or something.
Soundtrack's good. It looks ridiculous. The fight scenes are great, and all the voice acting is top tier.
Very good voice acting.
I'll keep it in mind, but I probably won't.
There's 9 episodes. You should just watch it.
There's only 6 episodes of Knuckles, and I haven't watched that. And we've
You're a
joked
Sonic
about
diehard
how
fanboy, so-
yeah.
Well, we're gonna give you a list of things to do.
Might have watched it if it was 2 Knuckles. All right, next one. Best multiplayer: Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Tekken 8, and Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2.
I would have loved to give this to Helldivers if they just didn't fall off.
Yeah. That's...
See, that's my feeling about Space Marine as well.
Same deal. I still haven't gone back to it after the last time we talked about it.
You know what? I think maybe still give it to Helldivers, because that was such a big thing. And that was its whole thing. So many people bought that game that wouldn't have. COD's always going to be the same every year, yeah?
I would say, yes, give it to Helldivers, except for Sony kind of killing it in half the countries got released.
They didn't need to kill it like they did.
That's why I think they're not going to get many votes at all, because it's the worldwide vote. But
yeah,
there's still too much bad blood.
I wouldn't be disappointed if COD or...
Yeah.
I think between COD and Helldivers, Warhammer is multiplayer, but I don't consider it multiplayer like those two.
But COD wins it most years, or games like Call of Duty win it most years, and it's nothing different. It's a good multiplayer
It's
game,
not a bad COD this year. I'm having fun with it.
but it's nothing different.
No, there's nothing crazy
I would
different about
like
it.
Helldivers to win it, but I think Sony have shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, they
with
really
it.
did.
So I reckon it's probably going to be between Warhammer and COD.
Yeah, all right. You happy with that, Brock?
I mean, I can't disagree with it, honestly.
Yeah. All right.
It doesn't matter if I'm happy with it or not. I can't disagree with it.
Yeah. Well,
look, I'd love to see Helldivers, as you said, but
I reckon it will.
Yeah.
So it was such a big phenomenon.
I'd love to see...
a lot of the voting with these is also the parent companies pushing promotion and stuff for it. So if
We'll
Sony's
see how we
backing
go.
it,
I know
we'll see
Tekken's never going to win it.
No.
And Jamboree, look, it's more Mario Party.
That seems like they just
People
threw that in
love
there
them.
because
They're
they just
fun to
needed...
play, but it's not going to win. Cause
Tekken's always good. Old mate, the director of Tekken, he's hectic, that guy. I forget his name. But let's look at the next thing.
Next one.
Best sports/racing game. F1 24.
It's not a single race. Oh, no.
The first
F1,
one is a
sorry.
racing game.
I was
Okay.
looking from the other half of it. Yeah.
Okay. EA Sports FC 25, NBA 2K25, Top Spin 2K25, WWE 2K24.
I've heard WWE is good. Jimmy loves it. He also enjoys.
EA
I'd say
FC.
he enjoys.
He
FIFA,
plays.
but he plays.
I think a lot of people play those games. They don't enjoy them.
And then we got a few guys that play NBA, and they seem to love it.
NBA, I think it gets an unfair pass because it's the same as
the same as FIFA. It's the
Yeah,
same
well,
game
not
every-
FIFA anymore, but EAFC, because it's just all about buying VC.
Yep.
VC's their
currency.
in-game currency to buy players
Premium
and
currency.
all this stuff.
in-game. Yeah, it's
Who has the
The
biggest
amount,
wallet?
everyone I know who plays is like, oh yeah, I'm going to go buy some VC, blah, blah, blah. Like, I mean, they
Well-
haven't touched it in ages, but it's just predatory.
how many people bought the superstar pack or whatever it was that like you got the base game and then the big thing was like, oh, you get 180,000 VC straight off the bat. Like, why?
It's pay to win
Why?
those games.
Yeah, it is.
So hardcore.
And like you can get certain players from doing like certain packs each week, and you can get like that sort of thing. But I don't know. I haven't played a FIFA since like FIFA 2021, I think, and it was good as a gift.
Have you ever
It's-
played the F1 games?
Yeah,
Sorry, bro.
No, it's all
2023 was
Thoughts?
great.
And so are they good games, or just because you're an F1 fan?
They're good games. The level of detail they go into, like if you turn every difficulty you go up, like you can nick something and then you'll actually notice like degradation on the car, and you can customize your car completely. You've got
Okay.
now like an online and stuff like that. Again, I like playing them. I
Mhm.
would love to play it in a sim or like just with a steering wheel setup. I don't
Yeah.
think playing on a controller does it justice.
Okay, that's fair.
I also don't have room to set up a sim.
Oh, God.
I mean, now we
do.
now, but
Once we get rid of all this, actually, our studio is completely clean. There isn't a bunch of cardboard and shit behind the cameras. It's completely clean. That's where you can put your sim.
I mean, Cody might use it, so I could probably get him.
Oh,
around
a
with
little
it.
office slave. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in a proper factory now, or proper office space, which is hectic. I'm all about that.
I think out of those, Top Spin ain't gonna win it.
I didn't even know Top Spin was still a thing.
Yeah, we know someone who bought it and returned it the week later because it wasn't good.
Who?
Silk.
Oh, really?
He loves his tennis.
I did know he liked his tennis.
I reckon WWE is probably gonna win it.
I think it's had too long for a drop off because it came out early.
It
They
did.
just
year.
come back
It
out
did.
on Plus. Like,
It's probably
a
going to
month
be
or two ago.
EA. It's going to be EAFC.
I really hope it's not FIFA. I really hope it's not NBA. I'd love any of the other three to win as much as I can love for a sports game to win anything. I'm not that interested in sports games, honestly. So
Oh, that's fair.
I just-
Alright.
yeah,
yeah,
I
I-
hate the gacha mechanics and like all they have for these two there.
Yeah. No, it's fair. I think it's going to be EAFC, but whatever. Next thing. All right, what are we looking at? Best sim/strategy game. So we've got Age of Mythology Retold, Frostpunk 2. Okay, give me a second here. Kunitsu Gami Path of the Goddess.
You did well.
Manor Lords and Unicorn Overlord. You'd hope so. I did 5 years of Japanese, one of the two. I've only ever heard of Frostpunk,
That's
and
what
I've
I
heard
was
it's
gonna
good.
say.
Unicorn Overload would get my vote for this.
Have you played it?
I have the demo. I haven't played the full game,
Is
but
it also
having
a Sega game?
it is yes, Sega and Atlas. I love the animations.
Yeah.
I love the character designs. Frostpunk, I mean, it's a good game. Manor Lords, yep. Age of Mythology, I don't think should be on there. It's just a remaster.
We'll get into that.
Yeah, I know, but
We'll get
I'm
into
just saying it up
remasters.
front. I don't think it should be
Yeah.
on there.
All right. Well, I'm thinking Frostpunk just because that's everything I've heard, and that's the only game on there that I know of.
It's the only game that there from those pictures, other than Manor Lords, that I'd be somewhat interested in looking at.
Yeah. All right. Let's jump to the next thing. I don't have much more to say about those. So we've got best family game. We've got Astrobot, Princess Peach Showtime, Super Mario Party Jamboree, The Legend of Zelda Echoes of the Wisdom, and The Plucky Squire. I reckon Astrobot.
Yeah.
That game was hectic. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
haven't played it yet. I've not heard a bad thing about it. They continued support for the game for weeks, adding new levels for free. Heaps of stuff. I've also heard very good things about Echoes of Wisdom.
Yeah, I'm not going to be picking it up. I love Zelda games, but I'm not unless I find it somewhere really cheap. I'm probably not going to pick it
Yeah, no, that's fair.
up.
All right, well,
Astrobot.
I reckon Astrobot.
Yeah, I've only heard of 4 of those games, by the way.
There's
Lucky
only 5
Squire,
there.
I have not.
I've heard that name, have never seen that.
I have only heard that today when I went through the rest of the list this morning. I hadn't heard of
Okay.
it before.
Yeah.
All right, and then Princess Peach Showtime, which I didn't even.
I mean, it was an interesting sort of
What was
setup
it?
for it. Basically, you play as Peach,
Actually, I do
and
remember
there's
this.
a bunch of like theaters and that you have to go through, and like you put on different costumes. They give you different abilities. It looked fun. Not for me, but like as a family game, sure. But yeah, Astrobot, my vote.
I reckon
as well.
When did
Astrobot.
Wonder come out? I would have said that would have been.
No, that was
Um,
last year. I'm pretty sure. I think it was the end of last year that Wonder came
Yeah, it was
out.
close to Christmas.
Yeah, okay.
All right, best fighting game:
Sparking
Dragon Ball
Zero.
Sparking Zero, Grand Blue. Let me finish them before you say anything. All right.
You don't know. I could have been.
Grand
reading
Blue
them
Fantasy vs Rising, Marvel vs Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics, Multiverses, and Tekken 8. It's Sparking Zero for sure.
I'll back you on that. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Multiverses is shut down, is it not? Did they not close the
I
service?
think I don't think they did. I think they had a big drop off, and the big thing was it actually finally released this year. I don't know, but it's not. No, definitely not Multiverses. Grand Blue, no. Marvel vs Capcom Arcade Classic. No.
It's like a remaster.
It's
of the
Dragon
old
Ball
game.
and Tekken 8, and Dragon Ball started like a mini phenomenon again. People
Yeah.
have been picking up the show like crazy again. People who never did, like Ben wants to pick it up.
I watched the first episode of Dragon Ball the other day.
Oh, thoughts?
It was good. There's
Little-
another
You
120 to go.
see little Goku PP?
Yeah.
Yep. And he's patting some pussy.
Yeah, Sparking Zero wins.
Sparking Zero for
Yeah.
sure.
Multiverses had too many. When I played it when it originally came out, the balancing of certain characters ridiculous.
Yeah.
They then released it and charged money for it, and it was still broken. And now, if you want all the cool characters, it used to be you get one for doing challenges or whatever. Now it's just dump money into it.
All right. Dragon Ball it is because we're epic like that. All right. Best RPG.
You gotta
Sorry,
read
I was
them out?
looking at my phone real quick. I got an important message. It said, "Tom, you are epic." Okay, so it's Dragon Dogma 2, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, and Metaphoria Refantasio. Is that it?
Something like that.
Refantasio.
Yeah. My vote's for Metaphor.
I have some things to say. I might save it for a little bit later in the list. But
Yeah, I know. You probably talk about DLC.
yes.
Yeah, I already heard about this stuff.
I've heard nothing bad about Dogma.
I have. People were not happy
I
with
haven't
the
heard
performance on
anything.
console.
Oh yeah, but if you wouldn't buy it on console.
A lot of people did, and they were
but
not
I already
happy.
knew you were going to pick this, Brock, because you were sucking this thing's dick a day after it came out, saying it's the best thing of all time.
It was 2 weeks, but yes.
Yeah,
I
but
was.
you were saying that it should be in the top 100 games of all time and all that stuff.
It's done really, really well, and it's still doing really,
So,
really well. Anyway,
COD's done really, really well.
It won't crack top 250.
My
yeah,
vote's for this, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. I know it won't get it. The Like a Dragon / Yakuza games are hectic. They've been able to shift that genre so many times and actually make it good. But I mean, I wouldn't be disappointed if this also got it.
one of those two there, Like
Yeah.
a Dragon, Metaphor. Yeah, my vote's on those two. The Dragon's Dogma, I don't think enough people were happy with it afterwards. Shadow of the Erdtree, no, but we'll talk about why later. Rebirth, I'm not going to disagree
I
with it
didn't
being
hear
on
much.
that list, but I don't think enough people sort of jumped on it.
Mm.
I don't know. Very silly.
All right. Well, I reckon one of these two. It probably will go to that, honestly. But I'd like it to go to Yakuza. All right. So we've got Best Action / Adventure Game. We've got Astrobot, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, Silent Hill 2, Star Wars Outlaws, and The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. Firstly, bro, this thing just
Flopped.
pitted out.
Yeah.
Like, who the hell is talking about Star Wars Outlaws anymore?
It died like 10
Other-
days after
Instantly.
it came out.
Yeah, other than to make fun of it, I don't think I've heard anyone talking in like the last week.
Last week.
Yeah.
That's not a very good example.
I've heard more people talking about the other four on this list than I have about
I haven't heard
Outlaws. The
anyone talk
only
about
time-
Astrobot, Prince of Persia, or The Legends of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, or Star Wars Outlaws in the last week.
Cool, you probably go to different websites and whatnot that I do. I'm not talking about people physically talking to me. I'm talking about just general like video feeds, whether they like on forums, anything.
Oh.
Yeah, but I mean, the attention
Yeah.
span of TikTok and Instagram lasts exactly 4 hours, and then it's old news.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, there was some people that we knew that were talking about, like, Star Wars for ages before it came out, and they just never bought it.
No.
And I think that's showing.
We did know someone who did buy it and hasn't played it.
Yeah.
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 Because it's just, if they ever fix it, I might give it a go because it's a cool idea, but I don't think it's
Ubisoft, man.
They
reckon,
fumbled it. But like Prince of Persia was great, and then they dropped this bad load of Star Wars.
I don't know if
garbage.
I'd put Silent Hill in
different
best
team, though.
action adventure.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, I think I like that the most out of all these.
But would you class that as a horror game or an action adventure game?
Well, it can be both. Like Resident Evil 4, I'd say horror and action adventure. Wouldn't you say that, Brock?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. See?
I don't mind Silent Hill being there.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I think it's a
weird.
good
I'm
contender.
not against it. I think probably Silent Hill out of these.
I think it will win out of that. Unless they
Or
go-
Astrobot. If it was platformer adventure or something.
Platformer, I'd back
Yeah.
Astrobot. Prince of Persia or Silent Hill is, again, I want to like Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom,
Mhm.
but I'm just
I don't
Yeah,
know.
right. Well, I reckon Silent Hill's going to be the go. All right, next one. Best action game. Okay, so we've got Black Myth Wukong, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade, and Warhammer 40,000 or 40K Space Marine 2. We thinking Wukong?
Yes.
I think Wukong.
COD, it says yes, it's primarily on combat. The campaign, while there are some fun moments,
It's not as good as
it's
past
not
ones.
good, no.
Helldivers 2's fun. They've got the problem in that game where they just, like, besides all the Sony stuff, just infinitely nerfing stuff and just making it, like, destroying the fun in the game. I think I would have played that a lot longer if it was like, oh, I finally found a build that I've been playing for 20 hours and finally have unlocked weapons that are somewhat okay, are still
yeah.
drastically outnumbered and getting destroyed. And then, oh, now this is a pea shooter and does nothing.
The new game,
What is the point? It's like, it's to the level where it's unfair.
Yeah, they did a thing where it was like 60 days of balancing, and they changed something every single day, and just updated the servers. But they were ruining one gun, and then like, by the way, the new better version of it is in our $12 battle pass you can buy for the next 60
Yeah,
days.
no, I'm not a fan of that stuff. I mean, I love in games when you go up against, like, say it's an open world game and you find some enemy that's fuck off powerful, and
Yes.
it's like, wow, I don't think I'm supposed to be versing this thing yet, and you can take it down, things like that, and it's a big struggle and it feels like a big accomplishment. But when every enemy is like, I've barely got a chance here.
Every time we did an automaton level,
Oh, bro. And there'll be
Like,
like 85,000 tanks.
yeah,
It's
it was
like, what am I?
it was hilarious for like a bad reason, just
Yes.
like how comically outgunned we were.
And it takes 3 of you to take down a Hulk, and then there's another 3 behind you, and you can't do anything.
Yeah,
Mm.
no.
And bring out the goddamn Illuminate. They've been teasing it since like a month or two after the game. It's nearly been 12 months, and we've got nothing but new planets to fight on and tornadoes. There's nothing.
Yeah, no, they need to add a few things to that game, I think. But I haven't played it in ages. There's probably a ton of stuff in there that would probably enjoy going back to it now.
I don't know
find
how
out
big this-
Maybe within the last month, it's still the same sort of game. All the guns, and
Okay.
they've got new skins, and they all do certain
Mm.
other things, but it's
Yeah.
nothing.
It needs
too
not an
crazy.
overhaul, but it needs like definite touch-ups in some very particular areas. My vote for this one's for Space Marine, by the way.
Space Marine?
Yeah.
I'm going Wukong.
I'm going Wukong just because I know how impactful that's been, but I wouldn't be opposed to that as well.
Yeah. I'm if either of those get it, I'm happy.
Yeah, same. All right. Now we've got best VR/AR game. Arizona Sunshine Remake, Asgard Wrath 2, Batman Arkham Shadow, Metal Hellsinger VR, and Metro Awakening. I didn't know about any of these games except for that
Arkham
Batman
Shadow,
one, which
yeah.
I didn't know a ton about.
It's got really good reviews,
Mm.
like the Arkham Shadow.
I know of Metal Hellsinger non-VR. I didn't know they made a VR version of it. That game's good.
Is that the one where you shoot and it goes with the beat of the song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Surge from System of a Down did music for it, and he sings in it some of the tracks, and it seems like a really cool
I've
game.
Seen someone play it. It looks interesting. It's not my type of game. but
Arizona Sunshine remake. I didn't know they did that.
Yeah, it's very similar to Dying Light, from what I've seen. But it's like fixed positions. You're basically shooting oncoming hordes.
Oh,
Interesting.
yeah. I don't like that as
Metro
much.
Awakening, like if it's
Is that just a VR Metro game?
yeah.
I didn't know they did that either. Yeah.
My thing is always how much exploration is in it, because it's fine. Like
Yeah.
if it's just an arcadey game, cool. Like Arizona Sunshine, it's arcadey. You're fixed position. You're just shooting stuff coming towards you. You can't move anywhere else. Asgard's Wrath, I don't know. Batman, I know you can move around the level, and the previous one was a bit of a flop because you just moved around a small crime scene and would scan stuff.
Which you can do that in Arkham Knight and Origins. And
Yeah.
that anyway, which
The new one, from what I've seen, you can actually move around and
I'm almost certain you can collide
interact
too.
with like a whole bunch of stuff, and use the grappling hook and that. Hellsinger, I'm not sure. I haven't seen it, but
think
you
of
say it's
think
like,
of Doom. Newer Doom games.
okay, but
It's
it's
that
like
type of thing.
you're like walking through the level or running. Or
Yeah, well,
it's not like
I'm
stuff-
assuming the VR one's the same because I have seen other games similar, but these are hype games. You're running and the music's playing, you're shooting and it goes to the beat
Cool.
and it feels really cool.
Sounds fun. Sounds awesome. Cool. Metro, as long as you're one where you are walking and exploring and all of that, I'm happy for that. Because
Yeah.
way too many VR games I see is just like I get that you have the limited space area. Don't make the whole game just in that area. Give me the ability to like, cool, I might not be able to walk and have the character walk, but at least I can change the scenery and go and explore an open area and everything and do
There's
whatever.
not many games can do that. The only one I can
I
really
know,
think of
I know, but that's
that
what
is like fully what you want is Half-Life Alyx.
yeah.
Which actually, I mean, this is probably gonna. Oh, actually, this is gonna come out in a few days after we record this. It's cheap as fuck on Steam at the moment.
Yeah.
Also, if anyone's watching this, Half-Life 2 is free at the moment on Steam. Get it because of the 20th
actually?
anniversary. It is free.
I might have to get
They
it.
did an RTX upgrade for it. They updated the game, did heaps of stuff for it. They did this last year with the 25th anniversary of Half-Life.
Are the episodes free as well, or just?
I
the base
believe so,
game?
yeah. They did a, this is going off the tangent hardcore. They did a 2-hour documentary on
Yeah.
Half-Life 2. They go into what happened with episode 3 and they fully delve into it. They just didn't get time.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, we just need to have more people on Left 4 Dead. Just Left 4 Dead at that point. And they had more and more people on. By the time they shipped Left 4 Dead, they were like, it's already been 2 or 3 years. Is it too late now?
I mean,
And they just kept putting
it
it
definitely
off.
wasn't too late because fans
Yeah, no,
were
but-
still clamoring for it.
That's what they've said now is like, in hindsight, it wasn't. We should have just done it. But
They could have waited 10 years and people would have been like, hooray, finally it's out.
yeah, that's what I mean. But
To
in
release
their eyes,
episode 3.
the whole thing with Half-Life is, and this is what Gabe Newell has said directly, it's like one of the only series where he's got a lot of input in.
Yeah.
He still has like the creative control over like, oh, this is good in this game, this or whatever. But he had a lot of fingers and a lot of pots or pies. Well, that's what it is. Pots. Another P word.
Penis.
Pot pie. But that was one of the only games where he was like, he still is fairly, I want to have something to do with this.
Yeah.
Do I have to play Half-Life 1 to know what's going on in 2?
No, I played 2 before 1.
Okay.
2 is such a different vibe to 1.
Yeah. Other than 1 or 2 mentions, you're not going to
I'm
miss
going
out
to add
on
it to my
anything.
wish list
Yes.
right now.
Yeah, get it now. But he said, he was like, well, the big thing with Half-Life is we wanted to always innovate and have something new in each one.
Yeah.
And the first game was just being like a new fluid, made the new genre of FPS basically. What
Yeah.
everything else is
No
basically followed since.
cinematics, like movable cutscenes and everything. You were
Not
part of
even
it.
that's a big thing, 100%. But more like the game's a lot more fluid. There isn't as many games prior to that. I know I'm not talking about 2 and what
I
we're
know,
talking
I
about,
know.
but it is. It
Half-Life
basically.
1 is also $1.45 at the moment.
Not surprised. See how much Black Mesa is. That's what I'd recommend playing if you wanted to play
Well,
Half-Life
the whole
1.
franchise is on sale.
Black Mesa is a mod that was done by other people. But you have to buy it. It's sanctioned by Valve though. But it was that first game that really modernized FPSs and is sort of what all the other ones have followed on from since.
Yeah.
Half-Life 2, there was the big thing was the physics and then the facial models and then all that sort of stuff. Episode 1, I think, was the big push they were having was having a AI companion with you the whole time and not feeling like, because Alex is with you throughout all of episode 1 and not feeling like they're just like it's like an escort mission or something.
The RTX is a mod for the base game that's free. So Half-Life 2 is still like $1 something.
It was free yesterday.
No, today it says it's $1.45 and then that
it
DLC.
was free until the 20th, which tomorrow.
That's tomorrow, but
Same difference.
whatever. Still cheap as chips.
It is cheap.
And then episode 2 was, I think it was like open areas because it's very open and like
I was going to
exploratory
say,
and
wasn't
things
it
like
that there was no loading screens between areas or something?
and things like that. And then they had some ideas for 3. They show footage of what they had for 3 and things like that.
Yeah,
and then
the weather system or something? Am I
I
remembering
think that was
correctly?
weather. The big thing was like they had like a blob enemy that could. They ended up using it. Do you remember do you play Portal 2?
Yes.
Remember the paint and like
Yep.
and how it was like very gooey and you could see it going everywhere. That's what they originally built.
Oh, so
it was
fluid physics, yeah.
yeah, but they put that in 3 and they had an enemy where it would be like a grated wall, like a big fence, and it would just go through it
Yeah.
and things like that. And if there's a grate on the ground, it would fall through and stuff like that.
Stuff that is not easy to do.
No, it
No.
still looked very impressive. This would have been like 2007 they were doing this. And I was like, whoa. Like, you look in the comments, everyone's like, this looks really good. Like, still, even for now.
Even like water VFX in movies wasn't really a thing till 91, and then Photoshop was developed and made it a little bit easier.
Yeah, I mean, like, they've always been very forward-thinking, Valve. But the one thing at the end of the documentary, and I knew why, because the company that did was Secret Tape, who do they're also No Clip, who do like a lot of game documentaries. Recommend them hard. They make some really good
Yeah,
documentaries.
I've watched their Half-Life documentary. It's really,
Yeah,
really
the one they did before
yes.
Valve, because Valve had nothing to do with that one. I remember
No.
that, and now they've done 2 internal ones for Valve. So I think,
Yeah, I've watched their original one. It's very good.
but right at the end, Danny O'Dwyer, he used to be a big games journalist guy. He does this company. He edited it at the end. It's a quote from Gabe Newell talking about why they didn't do episode 3, and they're like, the big thing is the main reason we didn't put it out is I didn't feel like there was a big leap or jump we could have done to make a statement in the industry like we had done for everything else. So we put it off, and we're now in a state where there is definitely opportunity for that in the game industry. Where he's basically sort of confirming, not even confirming, but
Teasing.
alluding to
They're doing
it might
something.
be happening.
Yeah.
Which, if you played Half-Life Alyx or saw that,
I watched
is almost
PewDiePie play it.
confirmed. Like, have you seen the end of that?
No, I haven't played it yet.
Yet.
Yeah.
It is okay.
I want to play it. I
This
just haven't
goes
played
back
it yet.
to like, what is it? Our conversation about how long should it be since games get spoiled.
Yeah.
This was 5 years ago.
I'm
You happy to spoil? me to
as long
spoil it?
as viewers. Spoiler.
All right, this is a
upcoming.
spoiler for Half-Life Alyx.
They did come here for the Game Awards.
So
but
Half-Life,
we've had a
yeah, but
15-minute
we'll get back
tangent.
onto it. Half-Life Alyx is a prequel to Half-Life 2. You play as Alyx when she's like 18 or 19 or something. You go through the game. You get you got to go find like some entity or something that the Combiner got locked up. This is like 10 years, I think, before Gordon arrives in City
Reappears,
17
yeah.
or whatever. And you get in this big cube and you go in there and it's the G-Man.
Okay.
And he takes you through time and he says, I can't do the G-Man voice.
My employees.
Employers are nah, but my last person who was giving me a hand with stuff has been a bit I don't know. He's basically saying that Gordon wasn't doing what he wanted because he would keep breaking the rules and G-Man try and get him to do stuff, and you see like a shot of Gordon. So he's like, do you want me to can you be my new
Yeah, I've got a
tool
job,
or something for you?
got
Yeah.
a job opening. For
Yeah, and I will say or help you out in a way if you do that, and as payment or whatever. I'm trying to think of clever words. My jargon's failing me. My literacy was terrible. But what it is you see the end of episode 2. This is a spoiler for you.
Yeah.
This happened in 2007.
I watched PewDiePie play.
Yeah, but basically, you know when the
a big thing's about to explode. Yep.
no, not that. The episode 2. Do you remember what happens at the end of episode 2 of Half-Life?
Yes.
When the what are they, the advisors, the big floating guys? So you're thinking of the end of Half-Life 2, not of episode 2.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, you do, yes.
Yeah, and
Sorry.
you're about to get on the helicopter to go to the Borealis.
Mm-hmm.
And the big advisors, like the head Combine guys, flying through the window, and they got telekinesis, whatever. And they pick up you and Alex, and Dog's not there yet. And they pick up Eli and fucking shoots the tongue through him and kills him.
Yep.
And that's the end of the game. Is you see Eli dead, and it's like, what are you going to do now? Because he's like one of the main people in the game. What happens is the G-Man kills that advisor, so Eli doesn't die, and takes Alex away. So the end there...
I haven't seen that,
Yeah,
but I've
so
been told, yes.
the canonical ending now is that Alex has disappeared and been taken by the G-Man, and it's you and Eli there, and he get, like, at the end of the game, you turn into Gordon for like 20 seconds, and Eli's just going off. It's like, I knew he was gonna come get her, blah blah. 'Cause he's like the only other person in the game who knows about the G-Man.
Yeah, because he's had dealings with the G-Man himself.
And he just gives you the crowbar and you pick it up, and that's the end of the game. So it's you, Dog, and Eli. So that's what the next part of the game would be, which when I saw that like 5 years ago, I was like, fucking hell, I'm so keen. It's been 5 years. I'll probably have to wait 50 knowing how Valve is. But anyway, what's our favourite VR game?
This is where we have on the podcast episode, there's like Game Awards, Valve Game Awards.
Yeah.
Batman wins. That's
I'll-
cool.
I'll
I
back
reckon Batman or that. But
It's our first good Batman game since
City.
I enjoyed Night, but most well-received Batman game since City.
all right.
Well,
Okay.
Lego Batman games go pretty hard.
Next one.
True.
Best mobile game. AFK Journey. Baltro.
Trading card game.
Balatro.
Balatro. Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket. Withering Waves. And Zenless Zone Zero.
Yeah.
Zzz.
I've heard of AFK Journeys from all the ads on YouTube.
Yep.
I only found out about this Pokemon Trading Card game maybe like a week ago.
It's apparently taken off in a big way.
Yeah, I'm sort of keen to try it out, honestly. The rest, I don't know. That looks like Genshin.
Zenless Zone Zero is made by the same people who do Genshin. Wuthering Waves, I've heard of. I didn't know it was a mobile game.
This looks interesting. That looks like it could be cool.
Everyone I've spoken to that has
It's
played
just a card
Balatro,
game.
Oh, is it?
It's a cool concept. I did a bit of digging this morning, but
yeah.
it's still a card game.
Well, everyone I've spoken to loves it.
I mean, so is that. That's a card game.
Yeah, but that's a Pokemon card game.
My favorite mobile card game is the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links game. That's hectic,
I
that
was going
game.
to say, I love the mobile game.
That's also cool, but it's just
That's all I need. That'll Solitaire.
Can't get Blue Eyes White Dragon in that, can you?
Maybe. You can never finish it.
All right, what are we doing? We doing Pokemon or AFK Journey or these guys or?
Oh, I think because everyone's cuckolded on Pokemon that it's going to win, but
Let's just say Pokemon.
I think
Or
it's going to win.
Bel-
I wouldn't agree, but
Beltaro.
I do think it's going to win.
Balatro.
I'd love if Balatro
Balatro.
wins.
I think it'll be close, but Pokemon's only been out for what, 2 weeks? 2-3 weeks?
Yeah, but that happens look, Space Marine was out
Yeah,
and
just
went off in a
recency
big
bias
way
or something like
and
that.
then just dropped off in a massive way. Could be the same thing here. I don't.
People still play Pokemon Go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All right,
excessively.
next one. Best debut indie game. Animal Well, Balatro, Manor Lords, Pacific Drive, and The Plucky Squire. I've heard nothing but amazing things about Animal Well.
I don't think I've seen anything on it. I'm not aware
No,
of it.
neither
What is
have
it?
I don't know. I literally don't know. I think I've got it because it was free on PlayStation, I think.
I've heard
It's
some good
done.
things about Pacific Drive.
Yes, same with
Yeah.
Pacific Drive. I heard
I
good
was
things.
about to say my vote would have been for Pacific Drive just because
This
It's a cool atmosphere.
it's really cool.
Animal Well is done all like distributed by Big Mode, which is the company that Donkey owns. Video game Donkey, you know that guy on YouTube?
No.
You would know him. I'm not a massive fan of him.
I haven't
think.
watched him, but even I know of him.
Yeah, he's
All right, let me do some.
yeah. Look it up. You'll know him by his voice alone. But
gonna-
Pacific Drive, I've heard good things about as well. I was keen to actually try that. This Plucky Squire thing has popped up a couple times now.
Yeah, I'm just looking up Animal World because I want to know more about it.
I think it's like a Metroidvania.
I was about to say the first thing on here, yeah, 2024 Metroidvania video game. Explore a dense, interconnected labyrinth and unravel its many secrets. Collect items to manipulate your environment.
Yeah, but I've just heard.
Is it that man? Because I recognize that man.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
him. I've heard nothing but good things about it.
I like Metroidvania, so okay, fair. I'd have to actually play it to see whether it's.
Yeah, if it's good or not. It was
Yeah.
just like it. I think the big why this is probably the way to go is because it just blew up when it came out.
Yeah.
So especially if this is a debut indie game.
A lot of indie games will have that very quick uptick and then a quick drop as well, though.
I've
How
consistently heard about this game.
Okay.
I haven't heard about Pacific Drive since you've talked to me about it when it came out.
Yeah, it was very big. It had that, new game's releasing this week, TikTok craze, and then
And
one of
then
the guys at
dropped off,
work
yeah.
plays it. Said it's fantastic.
Jacob.
It's cheap too, so I mean, I'll
Yeah.
probably pick it up.
Think Stalker, but
Oh, I already
rather-
know the
Okay.
game. Yeah. I reckon one of those two.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. Best independent game: Animal World, Balatro,
Lorelei.
and the Laser Eyes,
It looks cool.
Never, and UFO 50.
I don't think
I'm gonna say Animal World again. I
Yeah.
guess. All right.
Haven't heard of any of the other three.
No.
yeah, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes might be another one I have to look up later.
Best community support: Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, and No Man's Sky.
I'm gonna have to give it to No Man's Sky.
Yeah, the fact it's still around this.
Well, this is community support, not developer support.
Yeah,
So
No Man's Sky.
yeah, I'm just
Clarify.
My
clarifying, yeah.
second vote would have been for either like Helldivers or Baldur's Gate, but
I would have said
But I mean,
I would have said Helldivers or Fortnite. I don't feel like I hear community support for Baldur's Gate. That's just like I like the game.
there's plenty of community support since they released the mod tools. It's been huge. Don't do that. You do that every single time I make a point, and you don't feel like debating it. You just like,
I'm joking.
I don't know.
No, I just haven't seen that. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not debating it because I know it's a very good game.
I'll irrespective of whether it's a game or
See,
not.
yeah, look,
Sorry, a good game. or not.
inclusive of social media activity and game updates / patches. See that second half of Baldur's Gate? I just don't hear as many people talk about it anymore. I feel like No Man's Sky is definitely the one where
Well, they had their big summer and winter updates where they've redone the water, the weather.
I just
all that
yeah,
stuff.
I just
And they
know this
had
game.
new content
Yeah.
back come out
I just
for it
know
as
this
well.
game is. There's people who love it and they just don't stop playing
Yeah.
it and they don't stop
Oh,
cheering it on and everything
every
like that.
couple of months I go back and start playing it again. And
Yeah,
then
and then also, I
It's-
actually, you know what? I might even say Helldivers 2 because half of that game is community driven.
yeah.
You got to do the XYZ things to be able to unlock this. Like the community needs to defeat this world and do this thing. And where the whole game is sort of based off it.
But then you got transparency and responsiveness. Their whole
Yeah.
PlayStation Sony debacle.
Yeah.
You've got inclusive social media, which they just go, oh, you can't play this game in 80 different countries now because of your PlayStation account sign in. And the game
I
updates
don't
and
think
patches
that's-
have been, no, very loosely, but the game updates and patches, all they're doing is updating and fixing shit they fucked up 2 weeks earlier when they balanced something.
But
Yeah.
at least there is consistent updates and patches
Yes.
though. There's a lot of games where they don't do that. No Man's Sky, I think, is probably the best out of all of them for that. Honestly, I feel like they've been fairly transparent about a lot of stuff with it.
Which is what they learned after the way it launched.
Which is how it should go.
Yeah.
You can't say that Fortnite's not good with updates and patches. They're amazing for that. That's the whole reason that game is still so big, is because it is consistently changing.
Yeah.
Let me start recording this again.
No, it's Fortnite's great.
Yeah, I think it's a good game. I know Brock hates it, but I think it probably goes to No Man's Sky though. I reckon. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Best ongoing: Destiny 2, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, or Helldivers 2. I'm
Good.
surprised that No Man's Sky isn't in this.
Yeah, I am as well.
I would. Destiny's more of the same. I mean, it's ended now, kind of, because they've sacked half their team and
Yeah.
they've just dropped the ball completely. So,
I reckon Fortnite.
yeah, that's what I was looking at.
It is so consistent. I mean, it's hard to not be when you're that big of a company and the whole thing's.
Look,
You have to evolve or die, and they keep.
yeah,
Yeah.
I give it to Fortnite. I hate myself for saying yes, it goes to Fortnite, but
We got to get a trios win.
God, yeah. We need to get that victory L, baby. Woo! All right. Games for impact. So, for a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. Oh, okay. Closer the Distance, Indica, Never, Life is Strange, Double Exposure, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, and Tales of Kinzira Zou. I only know these two, Life is Strange
Yeah.
and Hellblade 2.
I've seen the last 3.
Mm.
The first 3, I might have seen something about Indica, but the other 2 I definitely haven't seen anything on.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't. Other than Life is Strange, and Hellblade.
I feel like
Yeah.
these type of categories are just in there to fill time. Honestly, a lot of the time, these games for impact one, there's a lot of categories where I don't feel like it's a big thing and they just try and shoehorn, oh, this had this sort of message into it, and they put that into a sort of,
Yeah.
like, what's games for impact means? Should it be impactful games?
Yeah, games that
Or-
have a heavy emotional impact.
Yeah, but in what metric is that scored in?
Yeah, that's the
It's
thing.
Yeah,
God of War
fair.
Ragnarok was impactful for me.
That I
Like,
was
what does that
actually
have to
thinking
do?
that, yeah.
What does that have to do with like a pro-social meaning? They're not really. It's a stupid category.
I
It's,
have a feeling every single one of these is probably that. Every single one of these is probably on that woke list.
That might be the next episode,
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I don't know what that is. Is that like an FMV Indica? Almost looks like it.
It just reminds me of like some sort of. I wonder if Indica is like a Polish sort of set game, because that's the vibe I'm getting from that.
Yeah,
also a strain of marijuana, but it's different. Stuff.
yeah. All right, well, I'm going to say Life is Strange because I know a lot of people did not like Hellblade 2. They
I didn't
thought
know
it
that
was...
there was a Hellblade 2. I remember that when they did the first one.
Yeah, I know a lot of people didn't like it compared to the first one. All right,
It's a shame.
let's do next one. Innovation in accessibility. Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Diablo 4, Dragon Age The Vanguard, Prince of Persia The Lost Crown, and Star Wars Outlaws.
Again,
You know what? I'm going to say COD.
yeah. There's too many settings, which must mean it's great.
They
for this category.
added a ton of settings in it, man. You can change a lot of stuff now.
Update the HUD. You can update where the map goes. You can change. I mean, you could always change the colors, but
You change flashbang color,
If
so
you
it
can
doesn't.
change the layout of the UI,
yeah,
like in base, then sure,
yeah. My
100%
minimap
I'd give
is
it to that.
Dead center of the bottom of the screen instead of being up in the corner.
Okay, yeah. Because that was like my big thing with like the few MMOs I used to play. If I could move the HUD around, I'm going to stick with that for far longer than I would any others. Because
I thought the big one was the changing the flashbang color to
Yeah.
black. I thought that was
so you
massive
don't blind yourself every
Yeah.
single time.
because it might be like susceptible to some sort of, I don't know.
Epilepsy?
Photosensitivity.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I can't say it.
I reckon COD. I don't know what the other ones have
Photosensitivity?
done.
Photosensitivity. Oh,
All right.
Outlaws shouldn't be there because you can't even run the game normally, let alone get into the
Yeah.
settings to turn it down so it doesn't lag.
Yeah, it was an innovation in accessibility, taking it away from you.
Yeah.
All right. Next thing. Best performance.
What is this?
So this is
Voiceover.
awarded to an individual for voice over acting, motion, and/or performance capture. So we got Brianna White for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Don't know who she plays. We got Hanatell from Life is Strange Double Exposure. Then we've got Humbly. Haven't heard that name before. Humbly Gonzalez from Star Wars Outlaws. I'm guessing that's the main chick.
Yeah.
Then we got Luke Roberts from Silent Hill 2. And then we got Melania Jurgens from Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. I'm going to say Luke Roberts, not just because only penis there, but because so far in Silent Hill 2, he's been great as James.
Because didn't they redo all the voice acting for?
Oh, Silent Hill 2's original voice acting is horrendous, but in a good way. It's like
It's comically bad.
It's not even that. It's not like Resident Evil 1. Bad voice acting. It is bad in an off-putting way, which fits perfectly with the game.
It makes you uncomfortable.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
It feels like there's something wrong going on because of how bad it is. That was not intentional. It just added to
Uncanny
it.
Valley.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So I want to say Luke Roberts. I mean, did you guys even play any of the other ones?
No.
I haven't played any of them.
I do kind of want to pick up Outlaws still, but I don't think I want to pay for it.
Yeah.
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 So I'll get around
I will
to that.
say
I'll pay $1 as long as I can get the dollar back
I
once
haven't.
I'm done.
I haven't played the other ones. I've not heard a single bad thing about the voice acting in Final Fantasy VII. I've heard that it's great.
I mean,
In Rebirth, I've
I
heard-
would say that about a lot of them. I haven't heard anything
I haven't
bad
heard
about voice
anything
acting.
about Star Wars Outlaws. Well, I was just going to say I have heard good things about the other three.
See, the stuff I've heard about Star Wars is how bad the game plays. Nothing's been
No,
said
but you
about
haven't
how-
heard anything good about the voice
Well,
acting.
no, because not everyone's focusing on the
Yeah,
game.
but I'm saying that I have heard good things about the other ones, and I've heard that this is not a good game. Hellblade 2, but I've heard that she does a really good job.
Okay.
And I've heard really good things about Life is Strange and Final Fantasy. But I reckon Luke Roberts. He looks like he's a bloody
He's a
Chad
He's
there.
a Giga Chad.
He's
yeah.
a Giga Chad there. I should get that music to fucking Bring Me the Horizon song on here is a bloody thing.
Audio design.
Best audio design: Astrobot, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, Silent Hill 2. I'm gonna say Silent Hill 2.
Go
I'll
for it.
second you.
Yeah. I've heard really good things about Astrobot's audio though.
Yeah.
I'm not hearing footsteps in COD. That's bad audio design.
Yeah, actually, not wrong. I'm not.
They've absolutely fumbled as well with the Call of Duty Warzone footstep audio. And then you can now, some real tech thing you can get on your PC, you can just improve footstep audio.
Isn't it a paid service?
Yep. You can pay for it for the game.
God.
It's just for your computer and everything
That's
as well,
fucked.
but you shouldn't be able to have that advantage.
All right. Best score and music:
Silent Hill again.
Astrobot, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Metaphor, Refantasio, Silent Hill 2, Cellblade. I want to say Silent Hill 2 because a lot of it's just remaking the original soundtrack, which is godly. I know people are going to say that though. The Metaphor.
Yeah, I was going to say
Fantasio.
Metaphor or Astro.
Or Astro. Ah.
For the music, yes. Sound design, I mean,
It's got to
effects and atmosphere. Yeah. The actual music, however,
I will say, I have heard on social media a lot of Silent Hill music in the last month or two. Like a lot. And that is from all walks of life on TikTok, Instagram
but
Reels,
is that
and
just
Shorts.
the algorithm showing stuff that
No,
you've looked up?
no, because it's not
They're just using it
nothing
for
to do with
TikTok.
gaming. It will be some chick showing off her ass at the gym. It'll have like the Silent Hill music in the background, stuff like that.
Whatever popular sounds on TikTok is what
Yes,
gets
that's
used.
what I mean. It's just a big sound on TikTok.
Yeah.
Give it a Silent Hill.
Yeah. But I mean, I wouldn't be against what's he getting in as well.
Yeah.
Best art direction: Astrobot, Black Myth, Wukong, Elder Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree, Metaphor, Refantasio, Never. I've got to say Metaphor. If it's anything like Persona 5.
I was going to say Wukong, but
Well, if-
Metaphor would have been my second pick, but Wukong is what
Is
I
it
would...
isn't it like very similar to Persona 5 with its art direction? Like the menus and everything like that?
Similar-ish. It has very similar feeling to all of it, like the way that you can like scroll through all of it. And the character design is
Don't
the same.
do not
almost.
care about the character design. I
Weeps.
think that's pretty
But that's part of the art direction.
I'm saying more of the art direction of the menus and the gameplay and the HUD and everything, because that was top notch in Persona 5.
It is, yeah, it's very, very similar.
See, I'm now just thinking that we've had sound design and all that sort of stuff. The soundtrack for Wookong was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm surprised
Every
I
boss
didn't
had
see it in there.
individual music, the atmosphere music, the headless.
Look, there's a lot of
Monk.
games that haven't showed up that I've been
Yeah.
like, oh, that's a bit odd. It came out this year and did really well. And
It
was
feels like they're
memorable.
picking from a list of 15 games so far.
Yes, yes.
And half of them are DLC or remakes. But
Yeah, again,
Alright,
we'll
so-
mention that later.
Black Myth Wukong, we reckon we're going for. I'm happy with that as well.
yeah, I mean, it looked great.
Yeah,
It handled well, and the animations and stuff for the boss fights was top tier.
Yeah.
So
hectic. All right, let's go that. All right, and then best narrative, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Metaphor, Re Fantasio, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, Silent Hill 2.
I'm going to... It's between one of three.
Mm.
I'm going to say the Like a Dragon, Metaphor, or Silent Hill.
I would like to say I don't even know the story of Infinite Wealth. Going off previous Yakuzas, I'd like to say that. I reckon Silent Hill 2. The big thing is it is a remake,
Yes.
but they have already I still haven't played much of it.
But they've
Still changed a
they've
lot.
got little differences here and there,
That's
which
what I
I know
mean,
was a
yeah.
big thing for Rebirth as well. They went and said that like stuff has changed, but it's like has enough
Rebirth
changed.
is also
How many
they
times-
split up the game into 3 parts,
Yeah.
which I'm not a fan
but
of.
how many times have they released a version of Final Fantasy VII?
about 6 times.
Yeah. At what point do you just leave it to dead? Leave
Well,
it to death?
this is the first time it's been like a full
Remake. Is it-
remake. Every other
Yeah.
time it's been
A remaster.
I mean, barely. Most other times it's just,
I just
we've
ported,
got it to
yeah.
run at a higher resolution. We haven't polished it at all. It just runs at a higher resolution.
Again, still, that's just not.
I
it's the
reckon
same
Silent Hill 2.
Is the story changed in any of those different versions, or even the
No, in
remake
the
version?
in this one, there's bits and pieces have changed. In the original ones, no.
Then you'd go Silent Hill or Like a Dragon,
I reckon Silent Hill 2. It is known as one of the best story games of all time.
which
Specifically Silent Hill 2.
yeah. But when was the last time it had a remake? Or is this the first?
This is the only remake it's had. It's had a remaster before that was horrendous, but it was just ported into another console.
Then you'd go Silent Hill 2.
I reckon Silent Hill
Because I reckon
2.
a lot of people have picked it up because they've known the hype around it
Oh, yeah.
over the last.
It's
15,
also
20
23 years old, that
Yeah.
game, so it's just crazy to think. All right. Next one.
We're getting into the deep of it now.
Yeah. Best game direction. Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth, Wukong, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor Refantasio.
So for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design.
Wukong.
I'm going to say Wukong because that is just reskin Persona 5, isn't it?
Final Fantasy is a
Really?
remake again.
Uh,
Is it similar enough to Persona 5?
it's very different story and everything. It's not based around the Persona series.
No, I
or anything like that.
understand that. I know that.
It's a
but
completely original story.
no, I know that's not what we're saying. No, we're
It's
saying
the same company making a game that's very, very similar to look at like Persona
everything
5.
I've heard is, hey, we want to make Persona 5, but different universe. We just want to do everything that's the same because we knew that game was great and it worked in a different thing.
But they've changed character design, story, that sort of thing, but it's the same sort of.
See, the big thing here, I'm going to say, and innovation in game direction, where a lot of it is very similar to Persona 5. I don't think it is a bad game. I'm not saying that. It's just saying, hey,
It's the same but different.
let's do different version of this game.
Well, if that's the case,
Mm.
then I would say that there's 4 games there that shouldn't be on that list.
Like what?
Well, Rebirth, they're using the same engine that Integrate or whatever the previous one was. They're not doing anything different.
Well, no, that
Metaphor, fair enough. It's the same
Mhm.
company that did Persona, and they looked at how well it did and like, cool, we're going to use like similar aspects and everything for that. Elden Ring, Erd Tree is no different to base Elden Ring. It's the same engine, same game, same everything, just
It's DLC.
different. Yeah, it's DLC. Astrobot is
It's Astro's Playroom, but with better levels.
Yeah.
So I disagree with Final Fantasy because from my knowledge, Final Fantasy VII, the first remake, or Final Fantasy VII remake, that is a linear game. They've turned this into an open world where it's like almost a completely different genre. From what I understand, everything I've heard, it is not just a continuation of the second game. They changed things up. And I think that's the idea with these remakes, is they're trying to make them all slightly different.
They could just make a
I mean,
new-
that's not innovative though.
I think so.
But
No,
it's
I
not-
think they've innovated because they've changed the gameplay into a different style.
but one that they've already done with other Final Fantasy games.
I don't think you understand what we're saying is Metaphor ReFantasio, from everything I've seen, is just reskinned Persona 5. I know it's a different story. I know everything like that, but they're making it extremely similar.
I don't think we're gonna agree on
I
anything
agree
for
with
this one.
Shadow of the Erdtree. It's just an expansion. There's nothing different.
Yeah.
I think Astro Bot is different enough from Astro's Playroom from what I've seen.
Oh yes, 100%.
100%.
I don't think it's. Yeah, and Balatro is a card game. While it has a cool style and everything like that, it's a card game.
Exactly.
There's no innovating a card game unless you make up a brand new card game with its own.
I can't wait for us to play this thing and be like, fuck, this thing is so different. It's an FPS.
Yeah.
Oh, no, they've already done that with that fucking speedrunning game last year. Or the year before.
With the deck builders. Yeah.
Yeah. I played it a couple times.
I
It
can't
wasn't
remember
bad.
the name of it, no.
But I reckon probably Wukong.
I'll
be
vote
st-
for Wukong.
It'd be stupid if it didn't get it.
Yeah. All right. Next one.
Ah,
Game of the year, last one. So we've got
it's
Astro
the
Bot,
exact same game.
Balatro. Fuck. Oi, that is honking.
Two things. We've had our whole remastered chat. Don't think it should be in the conversation unless it's game of the year, brand new game.
No,
Yeah.
it shouldn't be game of the year. I'm sorry. I think I replayed Elden Ring earlier this year and loved it. Bought Shadow of the Erdtree, and I was like, you know what? I've had my fill, so I've barely played it.
And
It is just more of the same.
And you can't call it a game of the year if you can't play the game standalone without buying the previous game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's DLC of the year should be its own category.
Yeah, and also to get into Shadow of the Erdtree,
And you have to finish the game.
You need to finish the game, and you need to go to an optional boss. It is like a fuck off way to find it. Like if it's not like, hey, there's a new thing. It's not like
It's not a map
not like
marker
New Vegas where it's all like Fallout, where it's like, oh, there's a radio signal over here. Well,
Yeah.
maybe discover. No, it's literally you have to fight an optional boss, which is one of the hardest ones in the game. And on its corpse, you can like go in a cocoon or something, and it is a fuck off way to find it. It's very Souls like, but no, that doesn't deserve to be there. I'm
No.
sorry. It's amazing, but it
I'm
doesn't
not
deserve
sorry.
to be
It
there.
shouldn't be there. Full stop.
No, I'm saying it's not bad, but it's.
I wasn't saying it was bad either.
Oh,
It's a very good game.
Brock.
But
No,
I was agreeing with you.
What? But
No.
yeah, no. Erdtree, no.
it's fucking stupid.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I can't walk into a shop and pick it up, then it can't be game of the year.
I don't know why Silent Hill 2 isn't on here.
I mean, that just adds into the same conversation with being a remake, but it's completely overhauled everything.
Yeah, if it's a remake rather than a remaster, if they do enough that's sufficiently different, I don't mind it being on here. I would prefer a brand new original game, but
Yeah, why
I would
isn't
be
there a new Final Fantasy game instead of doing 7
yeah.
over
Well, I
and
knew
over
7
again?
was going to print money, and people won't played it for a long time. I think that's fair.
But even then, like every year there seems to be a new Final Fantasy or something, and
I
there's not
mean-
an original.
The same could be said for COD.
Oh, there is.
There is. That's
But
why
no
we're on
one's
Black
pushing
Ops.
for that to be Game of the Year.
That's why we're on Black Ops 6. We skipped 5 completely. We're on 6. It's
Well,
the same-
we didn't. They just didn't put a number in 5.
Yeah, Cold Wars sucked anyway. Astrobot, sure. Again, cool for what it is. It's a platformer.
I think Wukong,
I don't think it'll get it because it's not a big studio.
yeah, and some of the controversy and stuff, but
Even then, story was great, music was great. There wasn't the voice acting from everyone but the main character was fantastic. The English dub was also really, really well done, and boss game design. I mean, I'm a fanboy because I loved it. But
I wouldn't be upset if Astrobot, Wukong, or Metaphor won it. I'd be very unhappy if Erdtree gets it.
oh, it shouldn't.
I'm completely indifferent if Rebirth or Balatro gets
I
it.
don't. Maybe their metric is amount of content, because the amount of content in Erdtree is well and truly more than a lot of games have. Which is that's the cool thing. It feels like it is one of the first times in years where it's been an actual expansion to a game.
But that's the problem. Like, the criteria they've got there delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields, recognizing a game that does all of that. It's not a game. It's an expansion pack. If you can't play it without having played the original game, which already won Game of the Year...
Hey, I'm with you, mate. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying, if that's a metric they're looking at, and I think maybe the reason that they're looking at it so favorably, besides the fact that it's super popular and everything like that, and you know it's probably going to get amazing votes, is because it's an amazing DLC. It's better than most games are.
I'm not disagreeing
Yeah,
on
no,
that.
I understand, but I'm saying look at it from this perspective. Maybe that's what they're doing, is they're looking at, hey, it's full of all this content. It isn't a DLC where it skimps out on certain parts of the game. You know how sometimes you get a DLC and it's like, oh, they don't touch on this thing, which was a big factor in the main game. They don't do that. It's just the whole thing. It's a really good version of like a new game plus, where they nerf you, where you really come back down to base.
Yeah.
But even then, it's cool, but I don't know. It doesn't deserve me here.
But even then, I was on the Game Awards thing the other night, looking at what they when they were going to announce this list.
Yeah.
And they had a whole spiel there about having this year. There's going to be. Excuse me. Are you good? Have a whole expansion, a thing on now. Expansions and remakes and remasters can be in contention for this sort of stuff.
That's what I saw, which I think's.
I think that should be a separate category.
You don't post that 2 days before you make a list, and half the games are the same 6 games reloaded and remastered.
Yeah, no, I'm not happy with this list this year. I'm honestly not happy with the games this year. Well, there was good games, but it's been a lackluster game.
Hence probably why they expanded it to expansions and remakes.
Yeah, I reckon that's probably a big reason as well.
But even then, you can't.
Where's Silent Hill, though?
I mean, yeah, where's Silent Hill? Where's Space? They've had plenty of games released this year that could have been there.
If this is just a card game with a few different things, I'm fuming.
And
I don't know enough of it
this morning, and this list got announced.
It does have other stuff in it.
All right. Let me look this up. You guys keep talking.
Is there any others that you would have preferred to see on there? Because, for me, Space Marine would have been a big one.
Yeah.
I don't think Legend of Zelda sold enough copies of Echoes of Wisdom to really be counted as Game of the Year.
Very little on it. I think Sparking Zero should have been nominated in more categories.
Oh, yeah, that could have been Game of the Year.
Yeah, definitely.
Creative design, which, looks fantastic. The audio as well.
Art direction for Sparking Zero would have been hectic.
Yes.
And music is just also fantastic.
Really good.
You've got the whole list of different scores and stuff you can put on. Wukong not getting nominated for that either, for sound design.
What was coming out earlier what came out early this year that would have been a good contender as well?
Okay, I'm on the Steam page for Balatro. You've got to admit, if it's getting 46,182 overwhelmingly positive reviews, it must be good.
And that's just on Steam.
That doesn't
include the Switch version, the PS5 version.
I feel like this is way more of a PC targeted game though.
It's on mobile as well.
Yeah. I think I would play something like this if it was on mobile.
Nobody Wants to Die, that came out. That's that Unreal 5 where you're a detective and you go through.
Oh, yeah.
I'm halfway through it. It's only an 8-hour game, maybe. Unbelievable. It looks fantastic. It is sort of a good tech demo for Unreal 5, but story's engaging.
Do you reckon there should be a minimum length of gameplay for it to appear?
How long's a card game?
You're always going to have people...
Yeah, true. You've got a good point there.
You're going to have people bitch and moan if you did that.
Jimmy finished Black Myth in a month. It took me close to 2 because I wasn't just playing that at a time. How long's but the story's 30 hours.
Yeah, this is very,
the same
very
UI
Persona 5.
Yeah.
What else has come out?
Did Persona 3 Remake come out this year?
No, that was last year.
Last year, God.
But Prince of Persia was great. Helldivers was fun for a time.
Hey, this might be an
Lords of the Fallen.
Unpopular opinion.
Did that do well enough?
It did better than the first game they brought out that was Lords of the Fallen.
True.
This might be an unpopular opinion, but I reckon that the Atlas games, like the Persona style games, need to be way shorter. Way shorter.
Yeah, how much of that is because like I'm of a similar opinion where a lot of games are too long now. Like Baldur's Gate 3, I love Baldur's Gate 3. I feel it's a bit too long. I just can't think of
How long is
I'd
the
make it
D&D
short.
campaign though?
Yeah, well, see that's the point.
See,
It's-
I feel
yeah.
like that's a bit different because it's so open and you can do what you want.
Yeah. What I was going to say was how much of that saying like they should be shorter is because we don't have as much time as we used to.
I'm
sink
sorry.
into it.
When I played Persona 5 for the first time, I had plenty of time. I sunk 2 weeks straight in that game. 2 weeks straight. It was on school holidays, and I played it every day for like 8 hours before I beat it. Which is hectic for like it was super good price wise. I got so much enjoyment out of it. By the end of it, I was like, this is a slog. This is a slog. If I'm playing over 100, 150 hours to beat a game,
And you're not even getting close to hitting the
yeah,
ending.
and there's multiple endings and things like that, I'm sorry, but no.
If I can get a game
No.
done in like 20 hours, and then if you do everything optional, it's another 15, I'm happy with that.
See, I would be happy if 150, 300 hours was doing everything in those Persona games. Like multiple playthroughs, things like that. It was too long.
See, yeah, that multiple playthroughs, I'll agree. If a game has
Yeah.
multiple different endings and they're substantial enough in how different they are that, like, not Mass Effect 3 different, I'm talking like proper different.
I know
If I have to play through the
like Nier
entire
Automata.
thing to get those different endings,
See,
that's too long.
I
If
had-
if it comes down to a single choice at the end of the game, I can just reload a save at the end of the game and
you don't even have
see
to
the
do that.
different
Just go on
ending.
YouTube and see what the alternate ending is. But
Yeah,
like
true.
with the Dishonored games, I've played like 100+ hours in that. That's like a 15, 20-hour story maybe. But you've got options to do it with no powers. You've got options to do it without getting seen, and like it changes obviously the story based on your notoriety and if you've killed anyone and whatnot. There's 4 different endings,
Yeah.
which to get the platinum you need to do all of those endings. But every story is different because you got to find different ways to do it, go through different buildings, do this sort of thing. I'd happily keep playing that game over and over again.
All right, so what's our thoughts for Game of the Year?
Mine's pretty set in stone. It's
Yeah,
gonna
I
be
think I'm going to
Myth
go
Wukong,
Black Myth as well.
which it's not going to win because you've got Final Fantasy and all that sort of stuff there. I don't want them to win.
No, I don't think Final Fantasy will win. I think it's going to be Black Myth, Elden
gonna be
Ring, or
Metaphor.
Metaphor.
Yeah.
I think everyone's a bit pissed.
I would love if Astrobot won.
That's the other.
Honestly,
game
I would love that as well.
But yeah, my 3 would be between Astro, Black Myth, Metaphor. Of the 3, I hope. Well,
you're gonna want Metaphor to win.
This
I was going to say Black Myth. I would love if Black Myth won because it's, as you said, it's a smaller studio, and if it wins,
it's a
it
Chinese
shows
studio.
that smaller studios
Yeah.
still have that drive to be able to release a really good game that stands up
Yeah.
to all of these AAA.
And if it
or
doesn't
not-
win, I want to
among-
see the DLC that comes out next year get nominated.
it would be great if they did win because it would be great to see if Chinese studios got given a bit more.
recognition.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like
there
they
are
do.
because they make so many good games that just don't come out.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
And like the studio that like Game Science, they're not a big studio either, and that game is flawless.
yeah.
I had
By
no
that same
bugs, I had
token-
nothing.
Balatro is not a massive studio. It's a small indie card game, like
Yeah, but it's also a small indie card game.
released here.
Yep.
Yeah,
I want to see Astro or Black Myth or give it to Metaphor.
I
don't
think
care.
Metaphor might win because I was just thinking about it. This might seem like a bit of an attack.
On who, Brock or
No, not Brock, but the type of people who are fans of Persona and Metaphor, ReFantasio, I
there's a
feel
lot
like
more of
are
them than Astrobot. and
well,
Black Myth.
not that necessarily. I think they are mostly chronically online people.
Oh, so they got more chances of putting votes in.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, which, yeah, I think there's a lot more of that. They're the type of people who that is their personality for a year, and they will talk about it non-stop, blah, blah, blah. Hey, I love Persona. I love some of the Shin Megami Tensei games, but I know what that fan base is like. It's like, you got to agree with me on that.
I am agreeing with
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the games are bad at all, but yeah, I think they're going to definitely be the ones who go out in droves, or they create some sort of bot that goes on other people's computers and like
Yeah.
different IP addresses to vote
He's
for
not
it.
wrong.
Yeah,
But like, I'm pretty sure the audience vote
I
only
dislike
counts.
that he's not wrong, but he's
Yeah.
not wrong.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the audience vote only makes up like what 30% of the actual vote for the game. The rest is done by whoever's judging it. If I remember,
Yeah,
reading
I forget what the
something like
split is.
that. It's not like you could have 100%. You could have 100 million people vote for the one game, but if the critics that are
See, I
judging
dislike that.
So
Yeah.
what?
Oh, sorry. If it's critics, sorry. When you said host, I thought you it was
No.
down to one. But I think
whoever's actually
There's a board.
judging the board.
So
Yeah.
Jeff Keighley's got a board, and I think it's some big people up in the gaming industry. He's on it.
okay. Do they
Um,
have criteria they have to stick to, or is it literally just
Oh,
like
I'm
we're
assuming
doing
it'd
where
be
it's
per category, but yes. But then whatever they choose or whatever it is, the audience vote is only like 30% of the 100% that gets.
Yeah, I think it's
counted.
like like bigger reviewers, people like Kojima, like
Mm.
bigger figureheads and things like that. They get a say. I could be completely wrong, but I feel like
We'll
I've
look it
heard
up for
that
the
around.
next episode.
Yeah, but
I'm quite disappointed compared to the last
yeah, no,
5 years.
that's
Yeah.
that's bad. But at the same time, there hasn't been as many picks to pick from this year. It's been a pretty.
look.
I feel like
I
it's been a
think we've
lax year
had
for gaming.
we had plenty of stuff come out this year. Nothing that's had as big an impact as it has in previous years.
Yeah, no, it's definitely been a bit of a lull in gaming this year. But you can't always have bangers. It's still been good, but
I mean, 2025 and 2026, like I saw a photo of what's coming out, like movie-wise and games for the
Mhm.
next 2 years.
yeah.
We're going to be eating good.
Oh god, yeah. Well,
Even just
yeah, we've
GTA.
always got those little lull
Do you know what I'm
periods.
very sad is not on any of those?
Yeah.
Sonic Shadow Generations.
And with that, we end it. Brock.
Okay, so Brock, can you send us out?
we will save it there.
God, yeah.
See you guys.